Hey Virgo, this is our mid-February 2020 reading for Virgo, suns, moons, risings, the Chariot card, but it could also be for a Virgo, Venus, Knight of Swords, or a Virgo Mars, or any other Virgo placement you may identify with Virgo for any reason. So we've got possibly some Cancerian energy on the table, and then air energy with the Chariot card and the Knight of Swords. We see cards flying out everywhere. I'm seeing cards flying out everywhere. We see movement forward, a victory and movement forward. Perhaps after a loss, or maybe this movement forward requires some type of a loss. Someone is very determined, very focused. Page of Cups, Page of Water. The Lover's card in the recent past, possibly Gemini energy. And a third major arcana card, the Justice card. This is the Game of Thrones tarot, by the way. Bottom of the deck is the Nine of Fire, Nine of Spears in this deck. So, that is reversed, of course, though. That 9. Yeah, it seems like someone is victorious and is moving forward no matter what, not allowing anything to stop them. They may have a loss on their mind, either from the past or that they're going to endure because of this progress forward. But as I said, there's also a very determined energy here, a focused energy. Now that forward movement is energetic, it is confident, and as I said, it is not willing to let any type of loss, the memory of one or the promise of another, stand in the way. And so while that is on this victor's mind, when their ego is quiet, that is of great importance to them, in the near future, nonetheless, the precise and impartial truth will cut away the untrue. And it does look like, for most, that means that victor, maybe it's a Cancerian energy, maybe some of you also identify with Cancerian energy yourselves, or maybe just someone who, as I said, is feeling confident, youthful, energetic, and so set on reaching a goal that nothing will stop them, and they're already seeing victories that are or at least an important victory that's propelling them forward down that path. So yeah, with that at the center of the reading, and then the Nine of Fire reversed on the bottom of the deck, Queen of Swords then below that. I really do think that this is about, someone kind of getting out of the picture, getting cut out of the picture, excuse me. So maybe I said that the way I meant to, right? Maybe some are cutting themselves out of the picture. Maybe it is this lover energy, this partner energy, not necessarily a romantic partner, but it could be, or this could just sort of be a symbol for the partnership. Deep bond and implied trust, that type of entanglement, a lengthy entanglement, right? That could be who is getting cut. Could be. Or this could be the other energy at the center of the reading, someone else who is just nearly as determined and focused. And they are actually, you know, making plans. If there are two of you that are moving forward with that sort of rush of speed and energy, right? And so it could be, you know, one or both of you that here in the near future, it could be one or both of you who has to take a loss here in the near future in order to keep this momentum up, really, right? Keep this progress moving. Or if that's not something that's happening together, this is showing up as what's in the past, what we're moving away from. So, yeah, there are different messages coming through here, right? So for some, this entanglement, this partnership is in the past. That's what we're moving away from. That's really who will get cut, it looks like, this month. Because someone's done waiting. Someone's done waiting. Sees clearly who or what needs to be cut, is aware of a loss, is ready to allow the precise and impartial truth to cut away the untrue. You're advised, if you're the one, it looks like you are, as the querent, you know, if you're the one who is delivering this news to someone, maybe it is a partner, maybe you have to let go of one partner from the past in order to deepen a connection or solidify an agreement, a bond, a contract of some sort with a new partner, right? But whomever you need to deliver that message to of, you know, can't be connected to you in the same way anymore. I can't renew this contract. I can't keep up with this friendship. I can't keep going with this relationship. I can't live here anymore. Can't work here anymore. Can't spend time with you like this anymore. The nature of our relationship has to change, or it's ending, whomever it's to, right? The advice is the Page of Cups, to deliver it in a loving way. You may not understand or think that it matters how you try to deliver the message. You might think they're going to perceive it how they want to regardless. You might think they don't really care how I deliver it regardless. But the advice here from the reading is that you do it in a loving, caring way. That you do so in a manner that acknowledges that the matter is emotional for one or both of you for some reason, to some extent. Honor that. Yeah. Honor that, even if that is uncomfortable for you, and even if that means that you have to deliver the message in a somewhat timid or confusing way. Just, you know, stay true to your integrity in knowing that you intended to honor that emotional aspect of the exchange, right? To the best of your ability. It may feel to you like this is making it awkward. It may feel to you like I don't understand why this is necessary, or and I think the point is just that it is emotional for one or both of you, and it should be honored, even though you could get away with sort of breezing over that. And for a lot of you, you'll think, of course I would honor that, and still that's the advice here. for a lot of you, maybe this is something that can be done over drinks, over dinner, right? Maybe it could even be expressed through writing, you know, depending on, you know, how serious, how emotional really the matter is for some of you. I think a lot of the point in this advice is that if you don't put in the effort, the energy, the time to at least make it obvious and known that you tried your best to honor the emotional aspect, then you may come off seeming like a little too detached or dissociated from the situation. So why that ultimately will matter for you is different depending on your relationship or your contract, whatever it is that you're you know, well, I shouldn't say your contract, your loss, depending on the what the loss is for you, right? So maybe it was a contract with some place where you worked, right? You might want that reference and you don't know that yet. Or you know, of course, if it was a romantic partnership, I think it's obvious why then you would want to honor the emotional aspect. But whomever it is, whatever the relationship is, without giving too many examples, going into many details, you know, you can apply it to your situation. There just may be a reason that you don't even realize yet that it will be important that you don't come across to this, whether it be friend or foe or anything in between, right, as detached from the situation, as dissociated from the situation. Who knows? Maybe if you're not, you know, if you're single, maybe they know somebody that they would set you up with, but then you came across that way, so they're like, no, I don't know, that's weird. You know, that just doesn't seem to jive with their friend, but really you just thought, you know, it was a corner you could cut or something is kind of what's coming through. Like, it's just something that, well, more so you just have this energy of this needs done. You're thinking logically about it. You're allowing the precise and impartial truth to cut away the untrue. I can't work in here anymore. I can't see this person anymore. I have to take this loss. It's necessary. I have to keep moving forward. And it might be somebody very close to you, may be a partner of some type that you've had a lengthy entanglement with here in the past. Who's overthinking things, who's not quite as determined as you are. They are quite determined, but not quite as determined as you are. They, like I said, are making plans, and they might be overthinking things a little. Or if not, you just might be recognizing your own tendency to do so and sort of self-correcting with the necessary amount of frequent meditation while you move forward at you know, a very steady and formidable, intimidating speed, and take these losses. You may be accounting for that, or you may need to, or that might be exactly why you you sort of can't wait for someone anymore to catch up, to get over that tendency, to ignore their own tendency to overthink like that, to put too much structure or pressure on the forward progress by planning too many details, right? That can become counterproductive very quickly for some of us. In fact, it's just something you have to, it's a hyperactive tendency, and so you have to stay hyper aware of it, at least at first, in order to correct for that. So maybe that is, if it is a partner you're considering having to cut, again, not necessarily a romantic partnership, but of any kind, whose tendency to try to hold you to detailed plans, try to hold your structure to detailed plans, when you know that progress could flow quicker and more fluidly, without that almost OCD-like tendency, without that control aspect, then maybe those are things that you could, I don't know, depending on your relationship, even suggest that meditation, that hyper awareness of something that's obviously a hyperactive tendency. You know, it just depends. But But the Chariot is sometimes, a lot of times, an energy, a card that says, you know, someone will even, they will mow down any obstacles if they're represented by this energy. And I think it's you, for most of you, they will mow down any obstacles in their way. They've tasted victory and they know they need to taste more. And victory is only the beginning. It's a long path forward of them needing to remain very focused and determined. And in this case, it looks like someone may just be trying to might be a lot of you trying to take someone along with you who is getting there, is leveling up to that place, but isn't quite there yet. And that might be working out just fine for some of you, and for others, like I said, this very well may be the precise and impartial truth, may be that that's the person who you're just not vibrating at the same frequency as at this time. This might be who you're done waiting on, possibly. But for others, that's working out for you. And it's a different loss that the two of you are going to just take in stride together. But I really do, that aspect of this card, it doesn't always carry that, but the aspect of it where it might actually mow other things down. I'm sorry, the music, 1 minute. Or any obstacles, rather, down in order to get to the goal, really is highlighted with this particular rendition of the Chariot, this version here. You know, nothing is stopping that dragon. And it's fearsome. And those battles are fiery and bloody. And the only really human counterpart that we see to this dragon has to become just as fierce, just as bloody, just as in some moments callous. Yeah. So, you know, I feel like at this time you feel like you have to make progress with someone who's willing to take those losses just as quick, who's willing to probably just to swallow pride just as quick, so you two can just really candidly speak about, hey, this isn't working for me. I don't like when you do this. We need to try, when we schedule things like this, we need to try to do it a different way. You spoke to me like this the other day and that's not going to work for me, or whatever it is. Again, it doesn't have, you know, whatever type of partnership, whatever type of bond. I think a lot of you are either feeling that way, that you need a partner that you can really be curt with at this time. Honest, frank, bold, unapologetic, feelings on the back burner, progress on the front burner. And so, yeah, that's going to be the test for a lot of you here is, you know, the precise and impartial truth will cut away the untrue. Can they jive with that? Can they vibrate with that? Can they get down to that? Is that okay? Regardless, I think that's, again, we just kind of circled back around to another reason why your advice is, but do be, you know, mindful of the feelings. Put some attention and energy at least into the time and the way that the message is delivered if you have to say, you know, it just isn't working for me, for whatever reason. If you're all about progress on the front burner and feelings on the back burner right now, Virgos, that's totally cool. But especially if this is a goodbye dinner or drink or speech or whatever, to someone who, you know, you never know what your relationship could be in some other sense with them in the future. No reason not to take the time to be a little extra sweet, right, with that. I mean, that's, you know, I'm not, that's just what's coming through. That's just the advice that we see in the on the table in the cards, right? I get that there's an impatience here. The message of this all being about the fact that someone is simply done waiting. And if you know, listening to the message, you know, you could be on either side of this. You could be the one who needs to keep up with that sort of merciless pace, if you will, or you could be the one who is already running at that pace and saying and sort of looking around and saying you're either going to keep up or not. But in either sense, on either side, the message is about the fact that the person who feels that way, who is at the merciless pace already, they're just done waiting. They're simply done waiting. They have their reasons why they just feel like they can't wait any longer. They feel, I think a lot of them, like help isn't coming, or like help already has come, and it is in the form of inspiration and the tools that they've needed to manifest the victory that they've already tasted, that we talked about. And it's that in and of itself is a flashing sign to you when you see that, to keep going, keep going, keep going. Don't stop now, don't stop now. That's if you stop at that point, that's where you fail to co-create. You've asked for the tools that you need. You've been hit with the inspiration. And if you have all of that in front of you and you do nothing with it, then it's you who decided to, you know, sort of turn your back on the future victories on that path. And when you choose a life purpose, a purposeful path, it can feel, especially at first, like a lover, like a partner. You know, it can take the place of, you know, where you would have had time to get a dog, or you would have had time to get a second job, or you would have had time. Well, of course, you want it to, a lot of us want it to be our careers, right? So that's sort of a lame example, but you know, it could take the place of a relationship, basically, whether it's a pet or a lover or a friend or what have you. It's a lot of hours, just because you're so passionate about whatever it is and you're driven to dive into it. So yeah. Interesting that we have Gemini and Libra energy. I just want to look and see where planets are today. Moon's in Sag. As far as the main signs that I associate with these two major arcana cards that came through in the past and the future for us, especially if it is a Gemini energy that has come in the past, I definitely see this tendency toward then overthinking, planning to the point of a little too much detail. This energy that's moving at this victorious, glorious, confident, youthful pace is motivated is an understatement, right? Driven, determined is an understatement. This mountain is already climbed. They're already in motion. It is very focused, yes, and balanced. But as I said, you know, planning to too much detail, organizing to too much detail can be counterproductive at a certain point. And this energy can't not know that, can't not embody that, because it is like a fire blazing a path forward. Yes, it is balanced, but strong connections and relationships can't stand in the way, let alone and any type of productive activity like that, any sort of tedious detail, unnecessary, frivolous, extraneous, very extra detail that it definitely just can't. I mean, there are exceptions to every rule, right? But 9 times out of 10, it really just can't trip that energy up, which is, I think an important distinction, only because that seems to be the main difference. But the main difference between these two energies here at the center of the reading, which may be all within one person, or this may be, someone and their partner. But I think we've gone over and over and over this. I think we get the point. There are many messages here, so it's easy to keep digging and to try to, get a very clear thread, right? If you know what I mean. I saw 10s for you, and I see 10s again as I dig down into the bottom of the deck. You feel a little like you're leaving someone high and dry. And it is a painful ending, a burdensome ending. It is a rewarding ending, and you can see, I think, if you follow this message, if you resonate, how all those things go hand in hand here. And I think we see 2 queens here. I think we're seeing, how you really are feeling internally around this time. And it is the very end of Aquarius season. I hope you're all making the very most of it. But we also see then the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Spears in this deck, Queen of Fire, which is the face that you need to put forward as you continue to network, socialize in the name of whatever it is that you're working on, make new connections, reach out, embody that youthful, energetic spirit, as I said, that fire blazing forward, and enjoy it, even though some part of you internally is feeling heavy from this loss, this cut that's going to have to happen. And I want to say, I get the feeling, it feels like, this is not the last time that this is going to have to happen. This is you learning how to protect another part of your boundaries, protect, different boundaries of yours, and learning how to endure this in stride, as I said, with or without someone doing that along with you. But yeah, I definitely get the feeling that it's not the last time that it's going to have to happen either. So with that, Virgos, this is long enough. I definitely didn't mean to let us get to 30 minutes. If you need more information on me, the channel, personal readings, anything like that, the decks, just scroll down to the description box down below. Thank you, as always, just for being here and all other support to the channel. Yeah, I look forward to posting another video for you just as soon as I can. Continue to make the most of Aquarius season and enjoy Pisces season. And I love you, Virgos.